Good morning, a very distinguished audience. I do hope that you will take back home some awareness, some knowledge about Goa. But before I start my presentation with a PowerPoint, which Mr. Nilankur Das is going to help me, and I'm thankful to him because I'm not savvy in this technology. I would like to explain to you the meaning of the title of my book, Feast and Fest, Flavor of a Unique Culture. Now, why do we say that Goa has a unique culture? Not difficult to explain. Let's travel back in time, long back, when different people came to Goa. Jews, Mughals, Kadambas, Vijayanagar Kingdom, and Portuguese at last. And each one of them has left a lasting influence on us. And today, we are a culture of amalgamation, a culture of assimilation of all these people who came to Goa and stayed for some time, and others who ruled over us for a longer time. And that is why I say we are unique. Then culture, if we understand the meaning of the word culture, it includes our language, Konkani. It includes our dress, our food, our music, our musical instruments, our dances, our houses, which are so unique to Goa. The houses of Goa, the real houses, have three features. One is the balcony, then is the rozangan, as you walk inside the house, and their tiled roofs. Most of the houses in the villages of Goa still have that. Unfortunately, our cities have been destroyed by building these monsters that I call them, of high rise of iron, concrete, which do not match our landscape. That's why I call them monsters. And we have, besides their houses, we have our furniture, our jewelry, and we can be proud of this unique culture of Goa. But remember, nothing is permanent. Change is the constant factor in every culture. For the Feast and Fest of Goa that I have selected for my book have various influences. But today, I'm only going to deal with 4 feasts and to show you on the PowerPoint what are those influences. You can see here map of Goa. This is the Goa of today, what we have now. But it was formed 13,000, 15,000 years before the Christian era. There were constant upheavals of rise and fall of water for thousands of years. And once the sea receded, it took another 1,000 years for the land to be formed. And once the land was formed, then people started descending into Goa. I'm not going to make a list of the people who entered Goa in those years, thousands of years back, because it's a big list. I will select only one, that is the Velips, the Kunbis, the Gaudis, because they are the ones who have influenced our festival of Zagor. Yes. What is the meaning of the word Zagor? It means awakening. You stay awake throughout the night. And why? You pray to the gods of the land, you pray to the spirits of that land, you pray to the souls of the ancestors of that land where you live. And then you start with the ceremony. This is the beginning of the Zagor. So you stay awake, it's just to pray. But in the morning also, they have other performances. Every village has 1 or 2 or 3 crosses, depending how many Christian families are there. Now, in this village of Kakra, there is one important cross, a big one, where in the morning they decorate the cross and they have what we call a litany, a ladainha. Now, who sings this ladainha at that cross are the Christian toddy tappers. They sing it either in Konkani or in Latin, as their forefathers have been singing it. Then at the end of it, some gram with coconut bits are distributed, and that's the end of the first ceremony in the morning. Then in the evening, people are invited for dinner. You have your dinner, and I would advise you, if anybody invites you for dinner at this Zagor ceremony, please accept it. It's such a wonderful meal. It's all Hindu culinary, but lovely. I'm saying lovely because I have attended it. Then, okay, when that dinner is over, you move towards the Mand, which is an open space in the village, to have the ceremony of Zagor. But the Mand is used for various other purposes, not only for this. Then it has got three parts. One is the invocation for the Christian saints and gods. They invoke St. Francis Xavier, St. Anthony, St. Joseph, and Our Lady, and they keep on invoking. When this is over, they shift to the Hindu pantheon and invocation to the Hindu gods. Now, every time they have somebody who is a leader, and the leader starts the incantation, and the audience repeats that in a very soft tone. At the end of it, we shift to the next part. The next part is what everybody awaits. It is the entertainment part of it. What you see here is the main character of the Zagor. He is called the Gorasher. Look at his head. On the top of his head, he has a basket of flowers, and those flowers are of plastic. And he keeps on moving his head up and down whenever the actors enter this Mand to act. And what is his role? His role is to tease whoever enters there. And the way he teases them, he does make the audience very happy with his teasing of the people. There are about 30, 40 characters who enter this Mand here. They act and they go back. Now, who are they? Some are the toddy tappers, others are the people who sell flowers, others are the dhobis. Each one comes dressed up in what he is going to depict on the stage. And every time they come, this fellow keeps on teasing them. But it doesn't, the people who are acting are not bothered about his teasing, so they, they act and they go back. Then there is a couple who enters. He's dressed up in a Portuguese soldier's uniform, and the girl who accompanies, both have a love affair, and this fellow, the Gorasher, teases them for that love affair, and then go back. So like that, there are about 30 to 40 characters that enter this Mand, act and go back. And every time this guy keeps on teasing them. But nobody minds his teasing because they are most concentrated in what they are going to act. Then you have the next character, a tax collector. Look at him. He is walking on stilts, 3 feet high. And why does he do that? He wants to show he's the most important person of that area. So he walks on stilts. Then then you can see also pictures, some figures of people acting here. But remember one thing. Here, there are no girls taking part. They dress up as girls. They are all men, all boys, but they dress up as girls and they act. It is only a men function. No girl is allowed or nobody acts over there. I said nothing is permanent. Everything changes. So in the Zagor performed here, Bollywood songs are also sung today to show, see, we are changing. But the main part is what we have to understand, that these actors are never went to a school. They don't have a formal education. They never attended a school of a theater training. They are people who sweep the roads of our city. They are people who pluck coconuts. They are people who make toddy and various occupations. But their love for this acting, it has come from the time they descended into Goa, thousands and thousands of years back. It continues. That's why I said we are a a culture of assimilation, that we have assimilated their culture and we continue with them till today. The next one, the Chikalkalo. This festival of Chikalkalo takes place in Marcella, Ponda, in a temple dedicated to Devaki Krishna. In Goa, this is the only temple dedicated to that Devaki Krishna. And if you ever enter that temple, you will see the image of the goddess Devaki with Krishna seated on her lap. No other part of India has this kind of image. It is black in color, and it is a new one, new in the sense not yesterday's, but the old one, which so much of veneration, so much of touching, it has become spoiled, and now they substituted it. Now, what do we celebrate here? The birthday of Lord Krishna. People enter the temple in the morning, they sing bhajans, and then at the end, they coat their bodies with the oil from the lamp of the temple and come down to the square of the temple. Before they start the ceremony of playing the games, each one throws mud on the other, each one rolls in the mud, and you can do what you want, nobody bothers. But once they're going to start playing the games, there is one fellow who always commands them. And they say, okay, stop now, we'll play this game. What you see here is a game called the chakra. They form a wheel and they roll on the mud. And there are about 6 or 7 games which I've described in my book. All these games were played by Lord Krishna at Mathura. And so today, to celebrate this, we have this Chikalkalo. Chikalkalo means a mud festival. Mud festivals are celebrated in so many other parts of the world, not only in here. They are celebrated in South Korea, which is a very large feast where people enjoy for 1 week in Germany, in USA. But their festivals are completely different from ours at Marcella. Now, why do I say that? They celebrate for fun. For 1 week, they have massages of their body with mud, and you think what you want, but that is fun for them. Not ours. Ours in Goa, in Marcella, it is deeply spiritual because we are celebrating the birthday of Lord Krishna. And this spirituality, till today, it is observed. You come, you enjoy, you play the games. Then at the end of this, what do? They go back to the river, which is close by. They bathe themselves because they are fully covered with mud, and wear clothes and come back to the temple to take the prasad. And then they go home. But before they do all this, going to the river, they climb on each other to form a pyramid to break the handi, which is full of curds. It is not easy, remember, their bodies are covered with oil. Their bodies are covered with mud. And so it's not easy, but they manage it because they have to break that handi. And once it is broken, it scatters all over the place. And then they go to have bath and they come back to the temple, they have prasad, and they go back. Now what I want you to remember, that this is a spiritual festival. And I hope it will not change. I hope it will continue. You see here the picture, a part of the Kurtoring village in Salset. That village is the largest village of Salset Taluka. It is called the granary of the south. It used to produce in the past such a lot of rice that fed the whole of Salset Taluka. Now, why have I brought this festival? Kurtoring was inhabited in the long past by indigenous people, and they celebrated this festival, what we call the Handi festival. You can see here, Handi is being built. It's like a dike where you stop the flow of water of the monsoons and preserve it. And once it is built, then the priest blesses it. and is decorated with flowers. So the water of the monsoon, instead of going away into the river, it is blocked and you use it for the next crop. During indigenous times, before Christianity came to Goa, the indigenous people used to kill a cock and spread the blood of the cock on that place where they are building the handi. Handi means a dike. Today, when Christianity came, it is the Catholic people, the priests who bless the handi, say a prayer, and they enter. There is a small chapel called the Handi Chapel. And that's the change today. But I would also like to tell you, look at this man. Now, what is the work of that fellow? He's got in his hand the rib of a coconut palm. And what is he doing? He's folding it, folding it, folding it. What does he get by folding it? People come and ask him, pray for me, I may get a job. Somebody comes, then he folds it. Somebody comes, pray for me, that I may get a good wife. Then he folds the rib. Somebody comes, pray for me, that I may go abroad. I've got my Portuguese passport, I just want to get out from here. Pray for me. So he keeps on folding the rib of this. And at the end, when he finished folding, this is over for today. For the next 15 days, they pray. Now, they don't remember who said what, who asked for what, but they pray. And why do they pray for 15 days? And next year, when they celebrate the handi, if you are going to be here on the 20th of August, that's the day the handi is celebrated in Kurtori. It's a very big affair. And next year, when people ask for prayers, and they know that their prayers have been answered, they come back to Kurtori to thank God. And they give a little gift or an offer, or money or whatever, there at the chapel. Now, it is important to notice that this festival is not like only making the handi and all. It is more a conservation of water. During that festival of handi, it's not only the folding of the rib or building the handi. There is a big feast with lunch for anyone who comes, thousands of people. And what does the lunch consist? Of dishes made of the newly harvested rice. Then there are desserts also made of newly harvested rice with jaggery and whatever. Whoever wants to be in high spirits, there's always feni for you to drink. And that is how our feasts go about. Without feni, our feast cannot go ahead. São João. Now, São João is a feast which has come to us from Portuguese. It's an inheritance of the Portuguese domination in Goa. Now, but the Portuguese did not only give us festivals. Today, you go to a restaurant and you say, I want pão bhaji. What is pão? Bread. And who brought the bread to Goa? The Portuguese. They taught us the art of making bread. And today we are using that same word, pão, all over India, pão bhaji. If you ever happen to go to Portugal, please visit the bakeries and see the variety of bread that they make over there. Then you also eat batata vadas. What is batata? Potato. It's a Portuguese word for potato. Batata is Portuguese. Then you say, I want to do the pagar of my employee. Pagar is what? Payment. You use this word, pagar, is payment. Like that, there are so many other words that have entered our vocabulary from the Portuguese vocabulary. Then you have other tomatoes have come from Portuguese. Pineapple, cashew nuts, avocado, chilies, guavas, cloves. I don't know, I cannot end up this list just with, there are umpteen things that the Portuguese brought. What about the marigolds? We use for every ceremony. We used to decorate the stages, we used to decorate whatever. It has been brought by the Portuguese from Mexico. They are originally from Mexico, brought by the Portuguese to Goa. There are so many other things brought by the Portuguese that we are still enjoying it. San João is a saint, a biblical saint, and his feast is celebrated on the 24th of June. People celebrate it by rejoicing, fun, jumping in the wells, as you can see here. And almost everybody wears a crown on his head, crown of flowers on his head. In the morning, everybody goes, when I say everybody, it is the Catholic community who goes to the church, sits the mass, prays, and then they go moving around the village with the gumards, with the dolls, and shouting all over, Viva São João, means in Portuguese. Then lunchtime, and then they jump into the wells, which is very important. Till today, it's only the men and the boys who jump in the well. Girls have not yet started. Change, they might jump tomorrow. So after that, it is the feast of the sons-in-law of the village. The new son-in-law is very much taken into consideration. The mother-in-law offers the new son-in-law, offers a tray with seasonal fruits, with our sweets, underneath there's always a bottle of Fenny. Underneath this. And then it is offered to the new son-in-law of the village. Now what he has to do is to jump into the well and then come up and offer a feast to the neighbors. What you see here is boat festival. It is 150 years old. It's in the village of Seoli. But these boats come traveling all over the Bardesh Taluka, across the rivers, and end up in Seoli, near the church of St. Anthony. And it is a competition. Whoever has the best boats are given prizes. You have here one, then you have here another one, decorated boats. And each boat has a band there, musical band. So you can imagine what happiness it is to travel all along the rivers of Bardesh and come to Seoli in a boat decorated with a band inside the boat. Then as they come out and as the competition is declared, the winner has declared the winner, what do? There is a big, always there is a sweets distributed and lunch, and our lunch is normally what we call, I don't know whether you ever heard of sanna. Yeah. So that is most important, with meat and sweets, and it's distributed to everybody. Then there are speeches, there are dance competitions, and that is how that day ends. Always, we have to remember one thing. We have not forgotten all this. We are still celebrating it in a very peaceful manner. But we have so many other more festivals, which I have described in my book, 17. I didn't bring all 17 here. 17 festivals. Some are historical based. For example, the festival of umbrellas, Sontrio, what we call, in Kunkoli, is a historical based festival. Then the Musar Kher in Shandor also is a historical festival. Then there are others, religious based festival, which is that Epiphany on 6th of January. In 3 villages of Goa, it is celebrated, in the Rejmagus, in Shandor, and in Coeli. And it's a very big ceremony where children of the village sit on horses brought from Belgaum. They are dressed up as kings or princes, and they climb up till the church. And I didn't show that, but my book has shown all these pictures. Then, religious base, then we have conservation of nature. There are many festivals in Goa. We take so much care to conserve our nature. Whether it is a tree, whether it is a bird, whether it is a crocodile, we conserve them. Because it is part of our environment. It is part of us. We cannot destroy it. Then we have festivals in Goa, in a place called Surla in Vishuli, where the Muslims and the Hindus together celebrate the Shigmo. The Hindus leave their temple, dancing, and go to the mosque. Now over there, the Imam of the mosque receives them, prays over them, and together they celebrate this festival. I would like to end this telling you to take back the message from Goa. We are a peaceful state. We have a lot of communal harmony. There is no fighting because you are Christian and I am a Hindu, you are a Muslim. No, we are together, and this is the fabric of Goa. You take back this message. We participate in each other's festivals. We exchange food. We visit them. And this communal harmony is our trademark, the trademark of Goa. I pray this lasts forever.